Yeah, we blew out the Chargers. Now we got the Raiders coming up. And there's some other news that we might just touch on here. We traded our running back White to the Saints. Bryant, he was actually with the Saints for the linebacker Deion Jones. Could it be just to have bodies for the last game? Maybe. I mean,
Yeah, I think
kind
it's
of
just
hard
a
to say,
camp.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying he's going to make the 53 because we got some guys. It's kind of interesting that whole the 53. That's coming up in what, a week?
Yeah. Right
Well,
after the game.
guys changing cameras. He's got multi camera view. He's gonna have the 360. You're gonna be able to see him walking through stuff. And
Exactly. Yep. Going around the world.
you seen those cameras, like these people that drive around and vlog? They put like a 360 camera hanging off the back of their car, and it catches it. I don't know how it works, but I've actually seen one on a car, and it doesn't look like it is where it is. So I'm sitting there like, how's that even work? But so Romello Heights, they said it was undisclosed. Did anything come out? Oh, I got the hiccups today about that.
I didn't see anything.
I mean, that's a little worrisome considering the stuff that happens to our guys. I got the hiccups something first. But yeah, I mean it's seriously worrisome here. Nick Bosa, I don't know. I mean, maybe we'll see next week if he's back at practice. That's the only thing it's going to tell us. If he flies with the team, then we know he's okay, right?
Yep.
About George Kittle being activated off the PUP list.
That's great. It's nice. He still has to practice though.
Yeah,
it's all about these guys practicing.
This is true though. This is true. You got to get some football activities going on. Rehab is one thing, football activities is another, right?
Yeah. So previously he was on the side working out on his own. Now he's off the pup, right? But he's still on the side working out on his own. So technically nothing has changed. He still isn't practicing with the team. So until he participates in practices with the team, then we can say we got some momentum.
Yep. John Jay, what is cracking? Oh, look, we got Bryant Culp in the chat. Smash the like button. That's right, folks. Don't forget to subscribe and do all that stuff that the YouTubers say.
BC is everywhere.
Oh boy, this is a subject we weren't quite gonna touch on yet, there, Kenny. But I don't think Jed York was not picked up by ICE. He ran into some legal issues. I mean, no one's perfect, right? Nah, no one's perfect.
He's a man, just like, us.
I mean, I was like, I was texting in a group chat with a couple guys earlier, and they were talking about the gap scheme. Of course, I couldn't help myself. I made a joke, but it's like, you know, the owner of the 49ers is in legal trouble.
Well,
I never thought I would see this. I'm not
he
going
may
to lie.
not be in legal trouble because, you know, he got hit with a misdemeanor and paid it off.
Paid it off quick.
Yep.
And the charges even changed.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
don't forget to having criminal tools. Is a criminal tool like this? Is the first time I've heard of this. So I looked up the definition. You know what could be considered one, and burner phone is on there.
Yeah, but also
So
cash
there you
is
go.
on there.
That answers that question.
Yeah, like
Dude,
burner phone,
yeah.
cash. So
So
it's a very open-ended thing.
I mean, it's not like the man's running around with a Slim Jim and a crowbar, you know.
Right.
But it's
Yeah,
just like,
they're
man.
9:30 in the morning
But yeah, folks. Don't get in legal trouble, okay? Just
though.
especially if you're a public figure, you know, like it's a bad idea, you know.
Hey man, at 9:30 in the morning, it's never too early to get some. Hey, let that man live. You know.
You know, my first thought is, I wonder what his wife thinks about it, or does she even care?
Well,
Yeah.
they're getting divorced, so that's personal. We shouldn't even mention that. Yeah.
But that's why this whole thing is silly, because this whole situation should be, you know, it should be private, right? But because he's a billionaire and he owns the team, that's why it's news. If it was any other guy, we wouldn't be saying anything about it. But because you own the 49ers and you're a billionaire,
Right.
a billionaire who spent $140 and probably made the biggest mistake in his life, it's going to be news. But it's not like the biggest news in the world, because this is the 49ers and our media is doing a really good job on kind of keeping this hush hush. This should have been blown way out of the water, and not a lot of people are talking about it. 49er people are talking about it, but not everybody on the news is talking about it. And for it to happen in the middle of the country in Ohio, oh boy, things that happen in Ohio. You'd think this would happen in Vegas, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But you're a billionaire. Why didn't you go to
Ohio.
Vegas?
It wasn't Vegas.
You know, it's just, it doesn't make sense. You should have been smarter, I guess. Maybe, you know. Why didn't they come to his house? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff we don't know about that situation.
Yeah.
But okay, Kenny is saying Ohio is wild. Does anybody have any firsthand knowledge of this?
I don't, but you know, the investigative
either.
reporter in me wants to take a trip with $140.
Oh my
See
gosh.
what goes on. That's what I'm saying. Just saying. I like a good deal too. You know what I'm saying? You gotta laugh about this stuff. You know, people are taking it way too serious.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the amount of money he had on him. I mean, what was the deal here? Because from what I've heard, it's like I don't know. Oh, I glitched out.
You did.
Yeah,
Right when I was saying my joke about he only had $140, so what? He only needs 5 minutes? Only needs 6 minutes tops. I mean,
well, he had $140. He had $140 arrangement worked out according to the internet and the website he went on. But he brought 160, so we don't know if he was going to leave a tip or he was going to go get something to eat afterwards. Again, this is breakfast. You know, in the morning. You know, you might go stop and get some waffles afterwards. But to do it and get caught at a trailer park and be a billionaire, oh boy. I'm sorry. This is definitely, I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think they're going to switch ownerships. I don't think anything's going to happen at all. But It's definitely not the days of Steve Young drinking milk in the locker rooms, and it's not like that at all.
Well, and that's like the big thing going on right now. It's like I heard, guys, and this came out last week, that the Niners and the Steelers have the framework in place to trade this one guy, to the Steelers. As for what we're getting in return, who knows? But step one, file your reinstatement paperwork, Brandon Aiyuk.
Can we even trade him without that being filed?
Nope.
I am not sure.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
no, we can't do anything until he reinstates, and then he has to pass a physical to be eligible, and from there, then we can dust our hands of him or cut him or release him, whatever you want to say, trade him. But he has to come back and reinstate, and he has to do something about his warrant too.
That's right. That's still pending.
Like right now, he doesn't have any representation. So I'm thinking if he does have to file his reinstatement paperwork, he's thinking he doesn't, because that would bring me back with the Niners. It's like, dude, force the Niners' hand. And I think I said this months ago, didn't I? Force the hand, file the paperwork, and that will force the Niners to do something. So, I mean, it's just 2 1 + 1 = 2, right?
Yeah. He's just not that smart, so it's not going to happen.
We got Vita Vea's cousin. Who's that, Bebop? And what is cracking, buddy? Who's Vita Vea's cousin? Is that undrafted free agent defensive tackle that's made quite an impression on all the people that are watching practice? And he did good in the preseason game too, I'll say. Ooh, okay. I don't even know who this guy is.
One of the linebackers is hurt too. That's why we signed Deion Smith.
Yeah, they said Nick Martin was hurt once again. So they went
This
out
was
and
one
got
of the
Deion
three
Smith.
defensive. This is one of the three defensive ends we worked out, guys. I think.
Fehoko? Felimi Fehoko?
Yeah.
He's defensive
Fehoko.
end?
That'd be a fun name to say all year. If but I'm not. It's just a camp body, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Just like this Deion Smith could be a camp body. Somebody to get us through the rest of preseason and in camp here. Because we traded him. It's basically like two teams traded away players they didn't need. That's what the trade basically was. Like, oh man, we're short on running back. Well, we're short on linebacker. Well, this guy's not making our roster. Well, this guy's not making our roster. Let's swap him.
Yeah.
That's what the trade was.
And basically, both teams aren't going to keep either prospect because they're stacked at that position when healthy. The only reason, it was kind of sad because White was doing kind of good for our team, but, he was only going to make the practice squad if we kept him. So, give that.
The roster makeup is going to be interesting this year because it's like, do we keep 4 running backs and Juice with making that room 5? Or do we only keep 3 running backs and Juice, making it 4? Do we?
It's normally
how many linebackers we keep?
Juice.
How many defensive linemen?
Yeah.
That's always the interesting one. Is it going to be 9? One time, I believe we kept 11. I think that was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Garendo's still hurt, so I think he's going to either go on the player, the PUP list, or they're going to, IR him.
Practice squad.
Yeah.
Something.
But he's hurt, so they're not going, they're not going to let him go, but they're going to ask him, do you want us to cut you, or what do you want to do? Because he's not healthy.
Yeah, they're going to do their usual roster gymnastics, try to cut him and sign him right away, re-sign him right away, and sneak him on practice squad or put him on IR, like Bryant said, just to stash him on the roster. Um, but yeah, but I do think we'll just be the three running backs plus Juice, and they'll have a back or two on practice squad like normal.
Oh yeah, it's my Mac Jones jersey. I'll recycle a jersey real quick. You get cut from my team, you're cut from my heart. I'm sorry, it's got to be. And Mac Jones, he deserves some love.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, Mac Jones is doing really good.
I mean, I think Curtis Rourke has impressed enough to the point where he's going to be QB3. Adrian Martinez, practice squad.
He's got heart.
Ends, did you know that, at one point, and this is during practice, Kyle Shanahan was using all three tight ends, something that we rarely see. I mean, the Jake Tonges and George Kittle, and then you got the blocker Luke Farrell out there. We probably should be using three tight end sets every now and again.
Yeah.
The wide receivers, it was funny because Matt Miyoko, not sponsored YouTube, he released this is my prediction, and he had the same 6 wide receivers making it, and it was minus Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I believe that, because Kirk hasn't practiced at all. Like, he hasn't done anything.
It's only going to cost like 2.7.
Well, if you think about it,
yeah, and he'll get signed by someone,
exactly.
so that money won't even. That money will come right back to us.
Yeah,
that's the way it works.
And I mean, the guy, he was hurt a lot last year. Here he is hurt on day one. Well, I don't know if he was if it was OTAs or training camp, but either way, he hasn't been in training camp. So it's like, you got no rapport with our quarterback. You haven't been in Shanahan's system to learn things. I just feel like at this point, it's time for him to go. Did you guys know that last year Jacob Cowing actually tore his hamstring 4 times trying to come back from that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I heard that too. And at some point, it's like, how many times can you stitch that thing up, man? Maybe not being a wide receiver is the best option for you, or you got to learn how to stretch, or I don't know, like put some ointment or something on it, where you gotta get that right. To tear it 4 times.
Well, I look at it like, what was he doing? Number one, if he was just rehabbing and doing what our training staff is doing, then that's a problem with that. If it just wasn't quite ready and they were trying to ramp him up and bring him back early, like that there's many things that could be, but that's what ended up happening. Daniel Berry, what is happening, buddy?
Hamstrings are tricky, and they can tear at any moment, and that's why you have to take it slow, especially with track guys, because they tend to go full speed when they shouldn't. And you've seen this happen across all sports: track, baseball, football, everything. They think, oh yeah, it feels good, I can go. Next thing you know, they're trying to go full speed, and you get a tear. And I've heard of guys who've completely torn their thing completely off the bone. Like, they got to get major surgery to repair it and reattach it. So, for him, they really need to tell him to slow down when these things happen. And that's something he probably had to learn the hard way. But he looked good on Thursday night. I was happy to see him out there.
Well, that 83-yard return for a touchdown, I mean, I bet Bryant was like, yeah, buddy. I mean, in a regular season, it was what, 2018, Richie James was the last guy to do that?
Richie James, yep.
So, and then who was the other one? It was Larry Ginn Jr.
Ted Ginn Jr.
Ted Ginn. Thank you.
Ginn Jr. Yep, he was the guy before him. So
And
Kenny wants
Kenny,
to talk linebackers.
we
Well,
only signed
we
this
have Fred
guy.
Warner. They've actually had Duggar out there, like on passing downs when there's only 2 linebackers out there instead of Greenlaw, which is interesting. But I think both those guys are making the team. You know, we signed Luke Gifford. He's our special teamer guy. But you know, those 2 guys are making the team, and probably Tatum Bethune. Beyond that, the rest, like, I don't know. I don't think they're going to keep 7 more than 6 linebackers. You know.
Yeah. I can see that.
But we'll see, right? It's all coming up. And I mean, Jordan Watkins has, I think he's impressed enough to the point where it's like, you got to keep him on the 53. If you cut him, another team will pick him up.
Yeah.
Like, that is straight gambling, and the odds are not in your favor.
No.
Dude, he's put on like, I don't know weight wise what he's actually put on, but body wise he actually looks more muscular, a little thicker than last year.
Jordan Watkins.
Yeah.
Talk about Jordan. Yeah, he definitely put on some muscle, and that's good. That's what you want to see from a young player, right? Hit the gym, put on some muscle, build his body up, so that he can, sustain getting through an NFL season. And this preseason, he's looking good. Like another one of those young receivers. Like that's what I'm saying. Like Kristen Kirk. Bro, see ya.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Larry Ginn Jr. was he was a stud back in the day. He really was.
What is up, Bashar?
What's up, Bashar?
That punt return. That punt return. But what is this, Kenny? This isn't so good. Why are we adding this veteran linebacker? Because we need a body.
Martin's hurt.
Yep. Martin's hurt. We need a body. That's all it is.
That's right. He's probably not going to make the roster. They probably keep Wallow over him. I don't know. Like Martin, I don't know the extent of his injury, honestly. It's been coming so fast that it's just hard to keep track of everything. Oh boy, everyone's starting to make shorts about Jed York, showing him in the yellow outfit. Orange outfit, my bad.
Yeah, I thought he looked better.
I don't know if you saw this on Facebook or not, but the funny one was him in that outfit with a beanie on, a gold chain, and a smoke in his mouth. It was like, I'm just, I was like, oh my goodness.
Again, it's just one of those things. It's like, if you are rich and you own a team, people are going to talk. When it comes out, they're going to definitely talk. If he was just rich and he didn't own, a big team, people probably wouldn't say anything about it. They wouldn't even really know who he is. So, again, it's really sad what happened. And
yeah.
It's not going to affect the 49er team or, the way Kyle Shanahan calls the plays or the way George Kittle runs his his routes or anything like that. It's going to make you, maybe it might make a couple of people not want to go to the game because they're like, I'm not going to give that guy a dollar anymore. I'm going to watch it from my television. But other people will still go to games. It's really sad to me though. I think I don't know, you can get pretty cheap tickets sometimes, but I think probably the cheapest tickets, you'd be probably willing to pay for that aren't nosebleed is probably around $140, maybe $160, and you got busted for that. So I don't know. Like again, you think these guys? I thought the massage parlor was the place to go. I thought all these guys knew that was the outlet, but the trailer park, I guess that makes us classy, right? We go to the trailer parks, so it's one of those things.
Yeah, Yeah, John Jay, this is actually something Bryant was touching on earlier. Is for some reason is it's not all over the news, but if you look it up on the internet, it's there.
This has been on the sporting news. ESPN covered it, Fox covered it, Fox Sports. I mean, so because it's a sports thing.
Yeah.
Rush partners are where that's why Deshaun Watson's been out of the loop.
That's why he was named the starter.
That's
He was
right.
in those meetings, putting in that work.
Ooh, did they actually name Deshaun Watson the starter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Kenny, so negative. Yeah, so negative. You know, the teams in front of us, the ones that you're putting in front of us, actually have really tough schedules too. So it's like we'll just have to see how the season rolls out. Like last year, we won 12 games. If you knew we were going to have the issues we had last year, would you have picked us to win 12 games?
Kenny, that don't sound right.
I don't think
I'm sorry.
would.
I'm sorry, that don't sound right. Shedeur was at kids' camps, and Deshaun was at the meetings. Do you want your quarterback playing with kids, or do you want him at the meeting? I mean, like, it's one of those things. It's like, we got to have these guys in the meeting where they know what's going on. I love Shedeur Sanders and all the stuff he puts into the community and stuff, but it's Deshaun Watson's contract. That's why they're going to start him, and they have insurance on him. If he gets hurt this year, they're going to get their money back. But Shedeur, he's gonna have to sit on the bench for a little while and wait. I don't think the city of Cleveland and the fans sound like they're happy either over the decision. But at the end of the day, it's not their decision. Owner and the coaches are going to make their decision.
It's the coach's decision ultimately, and I mean we'll just see how we do. Right.
So what was the new tight? It's not a new tight end. We cut him earlier, and we just re-signed him. And I think that's interesting that we re-signed him because that makes us having like 4 tight ends. You guys think that's because Juice is still
Dinkins, hurt? It's the undrafted free agent rookie from Penn State, last name Dinkins.
Mm-hmm.
And after we originally signed him, I'm like, who is this guy? I watched a ton of tape, and he's just blocking guys to the bleachers. I was like, he's blocking them back to their locker room. It's like watching Juwan Jennings block a guy into his own team, off the sideline. I was just watching him block like, holy cow, His route tree wasn't very big. He did make some good catches, but yeah, he's primarily a blocking tight end. But I think he had some sort of injury going on, and that's why we cut him and then re-signed him recently. So we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, blocking wise, holy cow! I was just watching him. I could watch him do that all day. It was so Juwan Jennings-ish,
I mean, George still isn't practicing, so you still need a tight end in there to do some stuff, and they might be identifying, is he an upgrade over
Farrell?
What's the dude that wears number 9? Farrell and
Willis.
Braden
Willis. Yeah,
Braden Willis, the guy
Braden
that
Willis, has been on the
back.
practice squad and has just been sticking around. Like, all right, can we upgrade him in some way? So this is the time that you look at, a guy for that.
I got his rookie card, and I keep looking at him like, do I want to keep this or do I want it? No, he's still on the practice squad. And then I look at it, and I'm like, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. But I guess I'll just keep him in the folder for right now. I like Tongas. Tongas is really tearing it up in camp. He's getting some deep touches. He's catching it. He's really turning it up. And he's been on the team for a couple years now. Sounds like Farrell's the blocker. He's the really good blocker out of the group. Besides Kittle, everybody knows Kittle blocks really well too. So, I'm excited. Does anybody have any idea on when Juice is coming back? Because I know he's got a broken finger, but Sooner or later, you got to put that thing back together, right?
It's been healing up, so we'll see. I don't know.
I got duct tape.
They've given no word.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on it either, except we got one commentator. He doesn't like him very much, so every time he brings him up, it doesn't go very well.
This is the guy I was talking about earlier, James Thompson Jr. What, Bebop? Tonjes is awesome. He did really well for us last year. He caught the game-winning catch in Seattle. What was that, week 1?
Yep. Yeah, 2 catches on that. I mean, 3 catches on that drive in total. He was instrumental down there.
Yeah, we re-signed Evan Anderson and cut another guy. Because it's just, guys are getting hurt for some reason. It's not the electricity. It has nothing to do with that. No.
Everything has to do with the substation. Everything goes back to the substation.
Well, we got the Raiders coming up, guys. Is Kirk Cousins going to start? Is Mendoza going to start?
I think it'll be Mendoza. I don't think they'll put Kurt out there since they want him to start week 1. So we'll get a crack at Mendoza. And the question is, who are we going to put out there? Because Mac Jones was very up and down on Thursday. That wasn't.
I think he played really well, but there were some passes that just didn't connect. If they would have connected, he would have,
If they connected, he'd have looked awesome. But
yeah, and that's the gunslinger out of the whole bunch. And
like,
then it really wasn't him. It was our 4-stringer Martinez that threw the pick 6. So
but it was Mac Jones threw some passes high and some passes late. Like he was looking rough out there for a stretch. So, like I want to see some more consistency from him, and maybe he needs, just another drive or 2. To, just get some reps under him, and we'll feel good going into the season with him, even though he won't be starting because he won't be playing because Brock Purdy is not getting hurt this year.
He's definitely not as mobile as Brock Purdy, but I think he's got a little bit bigger of an arm, and I really think he trusts him more. Purdy's starting to sling it though. Purdy really is starting to air it out, and that's a really, really encouraging. I like seeing him on the last preseason game. He got out there and he was really hitting, dribbling. I like that. Mm-hmm. But as far as the Raider game goes, unless we get to a big lead or something, maybe when we get against Mendoza, that might. But they got AOC coming out. That guy, he was a starter for a little while. It's one of those things. He'll be playing with backups, but he'll be playing against backups too. That probably won't be making the team. So, AOC is going to probably be their 3rd stringer for sure. He's probably not going anywhere. The Raiders will probably keep 3 quarterbacks. They're not getting rid of Mendoza. They were smart. They'd start Mendoza, and just let him play the whole game. But it's the Raiders.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, I don't think Shanahan's going to risk any of the starters.
No,
I just don't see us, playing any of the guys that we're actually needing, right? And it's their last chance to get a look at all the guys that are on the bubble in a game. So, yeah, I 100% think we're not playing our starters. I don't see us doing that. And Kenny, I see you asking about Mikael Williams. Need I remind you, it was week 9 when he tore his ACL, dude. He's not. That takes a year.
November 2nd was the date. Don't expect him back until November 2nd.
Yep.
And remember, this wasn't any old stadium that he tore that thing in. This is the Giants Stadium, MetLife Stadium.
Oh, boy.
Their turf is basically carpet. Should not be playing football on that thing. So he won't be back until November.
I still
There's
think
been
Jimmy.
some-
It's where Jimmy Hoffa is buried, and Jimmy Hoffa be, claiming some players' ACLs. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I heard. Now, then in the World Cup, didn't they put grass down in that stadium?
Yeah. And took
And
it
then
right
they
back
went and decided to tear it up and put the turf back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make that make sense. That's all. You know?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to pay for the grass, the upkeep. You got to pay for that. They ain't paying for it. They're being cheap. And think about that. There are 2 teams that play there. 2. That means double the income. They don't want to pay for it.
The owners are worried about that profit margin so they can, pay for ladies of the night. They met Death Stadium. There we go. I said what we should call it from now on. That's like,
Yep.
that's pretty good, Shark.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But so, I mean, it's just like what do you expect in the Raiders game? A whole bunch of backups going at each other, 100%. That's what I expect. And it's like Shanahan's going up against one of his disciples. So I actually expect us to win that game. But I kind of hope we lose that game because I've always had this theory that if you have a losing record in preseason, you're going to do good during the season. Like, this goes way back, though. Like, I was a teenager when I developed that theory.
I can't remember if it was Harbaugh that we went 0-4 with and went to the Super Bowl, or if it was Shanahan we went 0-4 and then went to the Super Bowl. We lost every game. But sometimes, it's like some teams focus on the preseason and some teams don't. And I think it's just really the coaches. I want to see them win every game. It's you're paying for the game. They're putting it on TV. Let's see them win it. But again, they don't play to win. They play to practice and see what the guys are doing against other people. So sometimes they just want to see like one matchup, and they don't care what happens at that point. They just, it's. I don't know. It's a little bit bigger of an audience, and you get the guys under the bright lights and see how they perform.
Oh, I know it. I'm doing the exact opposite of what Kenny said here. 9 games started, a fumble recovery, a sack. 20 tackles, 11 solo. 4 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits. Well, the thing about him is, like, all of a sudden Nick Bosa got hurt and he was over there playing against the left tackle. The guy is only 22 years old, Kenny. It's not like we're talking about a guy in his prime yet.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think, Tyler? They're going to start using CMC a little bit more as a pass catcher instead of a rusher now that we got a couple more guys that might be able to, balance it out?
He'll be used the same. It's Kyle. We know him. He'll be used the same. I'm just hoping we spell him more. That's it. Get him off the field. Let him take a breath. Right? Let him take 4 plays off. That's all we're asking. He doesn't have to be out there every play and then go out for 1 play and come right back in.
Yeah.
Spell him. Almost Jacob Cowing season. I like that.
Well, remember the Arizona guy here. Anshul, what up, buddy?
Anshu knows he saw that first pass. He was wide open. That should have been a touchdown. Mac Jones threw it late.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the fact that he started returning punts. Who's our returner, right? You have Jordan Watkins, Debo Samuel, and Jacob Cowing back there putting in work at. Let's see who the returner is going to be, and we don't have Sky Moore anymore, so we're going to need a guy, and it seems like Jacob Cowing is going to be the punt returner.
Remember, Jacob Cowing was the returner before Sky Moore.
And then it also seems like Jordan Watkins, it might be a combo with Jordan Watkins and Debo being the kickoff returner. We'll see.
Remember,
what is
Jacob
up?
Cowing had a very good
Appreciate
kick return. That was taken out to, I think, the 42, 43, but it got called back via penalty. So yeah, he had 2 good kick returns in that game, but one was a penalty. So don't rule him out on kick returns either.
I like seeing Debo back there for the punt return. I really like seeing Debo there.
Yeah, he started out the game there.
Oh, so the guys now this is the same list as Matt Miyoko, though. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. I had Mike Evans, Dizone Stribling, Debo, Jordan Watkins. I currently have Robinson making the roster, and Jacob Cowing. He had the exact same list I had. I was looking at that like, huh.
Yeah.
And, just with the theory that Christian Kirk hasn't done anything, and it just doesn't make sense to have a guy on the field or keep a guy on the 53 that hasn't been in the offense, hasn't, done anything with our team, our players. It just doesn't make sense to keep a guy like that. But we've seen Shanahan do things that make us go, huh? So we'll see. Got the Raiders, guys. Going old school, but there's not going to be a riot in Oakland, though.
Oh, no, there'll still be a riot in Oakland. Come on, it's Oakland. Yeah, Oakland will always, have a place for their heart. The Raiders will be there, but maybe in another 20 years they'll be back in Oakland because they're going to end up doing something with that stadium there. But for right now, Las Vegas is going to be their destination. We don't even know what's happening with the A's. They're in Sacramento and they're trying to get to Las Vegas, but with the name dispute, the guy who owns every letter in the alphabet, it's kind of be really hard to move a Major League Baseball team there without changing the name to Las Vegas. Las Vegas Baseball.
That's exactly it. Christian who?
Yep.
But I mean, what are we looking forward to? I wonder if Curtis Walker's going to come back. I mean, he had a kind of a scary rib cage injury there. It probably depends on how he's feeling, but I think in the time he played, he impressed me. I don't know about you guys, but he impressed me. I was watching him make throws. I was going, I know he had a torn ACL, but how is this guy a 7th round pick?
Yeah, and he played during that time when his ACL was torn. He played through it, so I guess he wasn't injured that bad, or he could tolerate pain. But he's hurt right now.
Well, we brought him back last year late, knowing we weren't going to activate him just to get him out there practicing and see what he's got. I think Shanahan sees something he likes, so Kurt, Rourke is QB3, straight up.
He's a Kyle Shanahan type. He's a guy that likes to get the ball back, get the ball out quick, works out the pocket, but has mobility to move around as well. So he's a Shanahan type. So he fits what Kyle wants to do, wants to have as a quarterback. So that's why he's there. And you can definitely, see him as the backup quarterback, QB2 of the future. Because we talked about this last week. I don't believe Mac Jones will be able to be retained, for next season. Somebody will throw him some money.
Yeah, I know he likes being here and with the 49ers, and he likes the feel of the locker room, everybody and stuff. But I do think he's a starter. I see him going to a team that he could compete and start and win the competition. Who we could always throw out different teams, but no, he's gonna be a competitor. But the difference between Brock Purdy and Mac Jones, there is some arm strength. And Curtis Rourke, I think Curtis Rourke is maybe in between both of them. I think he's got the arm strength that Purdy doesn't have, maybe not as much as, but the difference between Curtis and Mac Jones, Mac is a statue back there. Maybe it was his time in New York or New England, but he turned into a statue. He's not, he can move, maybe if someone's chasing him, but when he's in the pocket, he does not move around at all. He's not a dancer. And maybe that's why he fires the ball so fast, and because he's getting rid of it. He knows he's going to get hit, but no, he's not somebody I'm going to say, yeah, he's going to get a couple hundred yards this season. No, he's not. We got to have a good running back with Mac Jones back there. We have a really good running back.
No. Stop it, Kenny.
That's not actually a bad idea. I would entertain the idea because of, honestly, we wanted him to begin with before we traded everything up to try to get, Mac trade Lance. When we wanted Sam Darnold, we wanted Mac Jones, we wanted Zach Wilson, well, we couldn't get it. And before all that happened, we were holding back. We were trying to get Aaron Rodgers, but we knew that wasn't happening because the Packers weren't dealing with us. We were like, okay, Tom Brady's not really an option because we already we've hurt his feelings with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? So with that all happening, we were waiting for Deshaun Watson, and then the scandal came out. And when the scandal came out, the Niners were still holding back for a little bit, and when it got worse, they had to back away. They backed away, and that's the end of that. But now, if he does get cut, and the Niners could retain him for or bring him in for a cheap salary, and he could come and settle behind Brock Purdy for a season or two, and then maybe come out. He could put himself into a really good position too. But the one thing about the 49ers, we try to have integrity, right? And we're all going to not laugh right now, right? Because our organization is about, being proud and, doing the right thing. And, don't look at our owner, but maybe because you are looking at our owner, somebody does take a swing on Watson because he's still got a lot of talent.
I haven't seen it. Last time he played, he sucked.
Well,
This preseason, he's been sucking. I haven't seen it. The days of him being this dynamic quarterback, they seem to be long gone. We'll see what he does this year, but I have not seen it recently.
I heard reports
No.
I heard reports when he started practicing. At first, it was like he threw a bunch of interceptions, and then the next time, it was like one interception for 17 or 27 touchdowns. They named him the starter for a reason, but again, he's in Cleveland. The chips are stacked against him. He's going to have to do something to win over that crowd, and he's got to stay healthy. And he's got to do something to put some wins on the stadium and the board and keep people in the seats because he did get a big contract. Be hurt and not play well for 2 years. He's been basically out. It's going to take a little bit of time to get acclimated. But when he was with the Texans, I mean, he was fire there, right? But change of scenery again. Maybe coming out from Cleveland, coming to San Francisco, a little bit warmer temperatures, Santa Clara, whatever you want to call. But for the right price, I think the Niners would take a chance on him. Everybody said Sam Darnold sees ghosts, and we got the Ghostbusters, and now look, he's got a Super Bowl ring.
I don't know. I really don't think it's going to happen.
Sam Darnold ain't shit. Fuck him. He wasn't even that good. There was a running game in the defense. He was complimentary. He was Trent Dilfer. People acting like he won the Super Bowl. Get the fuck out of here. tired of that shit. For real.
Hey, Trent Dilfer was a great 49er, man. Put some respect on that name.
He was with us for a year, wasn't he?
Yep, he had John Brody's number. He asked John Brody for, and I think he was related to John Brody too. I think he married into the family, if I'm correct.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that one.
Wow. All right. Well, my internet's starting to glitch out quite a bit, guys. So that's
You've been
probably a
glitching in
sign.
and out the whole episode.
Well, the last couple minutes, it's been really bad. But yeah, it's just funny. But so what else do you guys got anything to add before we go?
Nah, just looking forward to preseason game 3. Seeing more of those young guys out there, getting those reps. Because we're going to be calling on some of those guys to play during the regular season. So we need them out there. Yeah, I went off a little bit.
I'm looking forward to seeing the youngsters out there too. They're going to be playing hard, trying to get their spot. But Bryant, what do you got, buddy?
It wasn't Trent Dilfer, it's Chris Chandler, but I knew it was somewhere close to that. So, but yeah, Niners, preseason game against the Raiders should be a really good game. And after that, we'll see the roster cuts. Everybody can start playing fantasy football, figure out who they're going to have on their team, and start listening to the news about the Niners going to Australia. And hopefully, we can come out with a victory over there down under. And I don't think the Rams are going to be prepared for us this year. I don't think anybody will be. I don't think even Jed's going to be ready. Not for what's going to happen this season.
Find me on X We Can Talk. Maybe you can hop on the Wednesday show. I always like to talk to people first, though. That's the thing. All right, guys, let's get out of here. As Corey Davis says, go 49ers and F all 31 other teams.